What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin here with another game review. Today we're reviewing the 2021 turn-based Western RPG King's Bounty 2 for the Nintendo Switch, which also came out for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Right. So I tried to Google who made the game, and I got conflicting info. If I had the cover here, oh, here it is. I'll just go by the info on here. So apparently this game is rated T for teen and is developed by IC Entertainment and published by Koch Media. According to Google, it's by Prime Matter, which also I think it also says Prime Matter here, right? But yeah, like Google also says this game was developed by Filgrim Publishing, which is a Czech Republic game company, and I googled IC Entertainment, and they're a Russian developer. Who knew like Russian developers made games other than first-person shooters? Because like every other like Russian game I ever heard of, it's like always a first-person shooter, right? Yeah, so this game is a direct sequel to the 1990 DOS RPG, which there was another King's Bounty game called King's Bounty The Legend, and which I think is on Steam. I think I played that game. But yeah, so yeah, I bought this game the other day. I paid like a couple weeks ago I bought this game. I paid 25 bucks for it. And I knew nothing about the game other than I looked at it and I'm like, huh, this kind of looks like Heroes of Might and Magic, which I like the aesthetic of those games, but those games, man, can be pretty difficult. Right? Holy crap. So yeah, I got the game and I played it and I enjoyed the game. The game has its problems, like the uninspired story, which the story is a little, I don't want to say generic, because people use that label on anything that's traditionally fantasy. Right, but it does feel a little bit like uninspired, right? Even some of the armor choices in the game, like some of the early armor in the game, is straight up from like Game of Thrones, like Foot Soldier, right? Stark Foot Soldier, right? So yeah, the game is a turn-based Western RPG, but unlike a lot of turn-based Western RPGs, there's an open world where you can ride around on a horse and take quests from NPCs and look for loot, and there's even dungeons where there's puzzles in the game. But every time like there's a battle that's going to happen, like, you know, you can go which the battle, like, there will be, if you do certain quests, like that will start, like, that randomly start, like, not randomly, but, you know, you do a quest, there will be like a battle. But sometimes there are battles on the map, right, where there's like this yellow glowing barrier and you see like enemies running around, and they will, unless you defeat those enemies, you can't get through that certain road, right, which sucked, which I forgot to put that no jump button in the dislikes, because this fucking game needed a jump button. Oh my god. But yeah, how the game works is that you pick from 3 classes, which you can't customize what their characters look like. They stay who they are. So there's Avar, the fighter, and there's the red-headed female sorceress, and the blonde-haired paladin. So obviously I picked Avar because he looks the coolest, right? And boy, thank God I did my research ahead of time, and I knew, oh my god, that the fighter is like the worst class, because like because the game, your character doesn't actually fight, his units fight for you, which the combat is basically like a strategy RPG where you have units that you can move and attack other units, which thank God in this game, unlike with crappy turn-based games like, you know, Blackguard 2 or Divinity, Which I don't think Divinity sucks. I just don't like the comment. All you have to do is take out the enemy units and you win the victory. There's no certain matches in the game where you have to do like, you know, fulfill like special objectives. No. You just have to wipe out the enemies. Thank fucking God. Right? Because that shit could be fucking annoying. Right? And I'm trying not to say right anymore because like, like I recorded a video where I kept saying right, and I'm like, oh my God, you could play a drinking game every time I said right. But yeah, so I picked Avar, who is an who was a Royal Guard knight, but because of a crazy elf called the Scryer, who shows up on the day that the king just suddenly got poisoned, right, and made a commotion. You get blamed for it, and you get stripped from the Royal Guard and became a mercenary. And the game starts off with you in jail and getting released, right? Oh my God! So again, getting released, and you get pardoned by the prince, who needs you to go out and protect the realm of Nostria, right? Because there's a lot of bullshit going on, right? The fucking mage factory where all the mages do their bullshit blown up. There's a crazy fucking cult, and there's a thing called the Blight, which has like weird purple ghost-like monsters, right? So obviously you the hero have to go out and stop this bullshit, right? Which you have lots of which, by the way, even though your character doesn't fight directly, you do have spells, right, which are that you need to learn through scrolls. Or you could say fuck it and just use the scroll, but then then you can only use that spell like the one time. So it's better not to waste the scrolls early on in the game and increase your arcane knowledge, right? And leadership, because leadership is how you level up, like how many soldiers you can have in a unit. Which there's several different kinds of units, like the melee units, the range units, the fast attack units, right? Which, you know, the melee units are like spearmen, knights, fast attacks like dogs, wolves. Later on, there's there are celestials, which are basically like fucking Valkyries, which are pretty cool. You can, in the end of the game, you can even buy a dragon, right? Which is pretty badass. You also, for your range attacks units, you have mages, which can also do support spells, right? And you have bowmen and crossbowmen, right? And like even there's dwarven range units, right? That called fire throwers, which basically have guns, like cannons, fire cannons, right? Oh my God. So yeah, you can, despite the fact that you can equip weapons and armor, your character doesn't directly fight. Your character only casts spells that you can inflict damage on the enemy or do support spells like healing, debuffs, stuff like that. Increase speed or crit, which those are like the best spells in the game, like especially haste when you upgrade your spells, right? Which you can do in the skill trees, right? Which the skill trees are separated by alignment. So you have like order, power, anarchy, and finesse, which are the spells, right? You're going to want to at least do a little bit of everything, but focus on one, right? Because you're not going to be able to max out every skill tree, right? The max level for this game is level 30, right? And once you do that, you can only max out the one skill tree. I was initially trying to do the order skill tree, but because of I thought I was near the end of the game and I didn't have enough order points, which based on the choices you make in the quests, in the different quests you take, you get points to your alignment, right? So oh my god, I did it again. So I did a lot of power choices, right? Which is just, you know, you just confront the fucking enemy, right? So I maxed out my, I went to the reset button and it's put everything into power, which thankfully I still beat the game, which I suck, I admit I suck at these, like, I suck in a lot of Western RPGs in general, right? But I especially suck in these tactical ones, so I picked easy, right? Which I should get an excuse for picking the easy class, because fucking hell, not easy class, easy difficulty, because they really fuck you when you pick the fighter, because the fighter has the least arcane knowledge, least fucking mana, which mana is a collectible resource. So yeah, you don't want to squander that shit, especially you need to upgrade your not spell books, but like your spells, right? And research them, right? Oh my god, I keep fucking doing it. Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna go with my likes and dislikes for the game. Likes: open world, lots of quests to do. The puzzles are not hard, they're easy. There's cool weapons and armor, cool units, right? Especially I thought, like, I really liked the Death Knights, which look shitty at first. They're like skeleton warriors, but they look pretty cool when you up. They have ranks. The units have ranks, and for like 3 ranks that which is like the, you know, stat, like private, sergeant, shit like that. And once you level them up to the third rank, they max out, and each rank that they rank up to, their armor gets they get more armor, which looks pretty cool, right? They're like, even like the royal mages, which is like I think the highest level sorcerers, they start off bald, and as they rank up they get more hairs, which I thought was funny. Oh my god. Right, yeah, there's easy puzzles, cool weapons and armor. Like, I had a flaming sword on my back, cool units. I really like the MC, and the game is decent length, even though there's no in-game clock, right? The game is, according to how long to beat, which the game's like 33 hours, which sounds about right to me, that it would be that short. Because this game, I played this game, I was playing this game around the same time I was playing 2 other games, right? And I still beat it within like a couple weeks. So yeah, it sounds, for 40 hours sounds about right. And yeah, the game has an alignment system and a free skill reset. So if you fuck up your character builds, which is a huge problem with a lot of Western RPGs, where if you fuck up your character build, you're fucked. Here, you can't. If you fuck up your character build, right, you get a free skill reset. But if you want to change your, like, if you want to reset your skills again, it's like 20,000 gold, which is does not take that long to grind. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think there's lots of loot around the open world that I think generates, like, randomly generates. Obviously, they don't randomly generate for the quests, right? I don't think so. But yeah, I think the loot randomly generates. Because I'll go to a place, find all the loot, and then come back and there will be more loot. So I could be wrong about that. Dislikes: there's bad voice acting, English voice acting in the game. Where my main character, I swear to God, it sounded like he was being voiced by 2 different people at certain points. A lot of same face. A lot of the old man characters look like Nick fucking Nolte. And like all the characters look like they were made through in-game character engine creator. Bad cinematics. Can't use your weapons. Right. Which would have been nice if you could, like, lose your weapons outside of combat. Like, that there was like destructible, like, you know, pots or urns and shit, boxes that you could just break for loot. Because it's like, what's the point of being able to equip all these different fucking weapons and shit, and I can't fucking ever use my cool weapons or shit? That fucking sucks. Like, all the equipment that you put on, that does is like its stat increases for your units, right? There's a very anticlimactic ending. Yeah. They sequel bait, and there's no game timer, and you can't jump. Which there are certain where the no jumping really fucks you in this game, because you can, like, because if you don't, because you'll try to get somewhere, right? Which you can put quest markers and whatever, and if you don't take the right path, you can't get there, even though it's like 2 fucking feet away, because it's on a different plane. So that fucking sucked. Right. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot to mention that you also you can, after the ending of the game, your character wakes up. Prince Adrian wakes you up, and it looks, that cutscene was very, like, your character is making, like, you know, is on the ground and his neck's against the soldier, and he's like talking, and it's like, his face looks fucking weird, man, as fuck. But overall, like, yeah, you can keep playing the game after you beat it, which is pretty cool. You don't have to load a previous save. So yeah, the game has its problems, but the game is fucking fun, and, you know, 6 out of 10. And I was supposed to say this at the beginning of the review, so no one's gonna see this, but if this video gets 5 likes and 50 views, we'll do a poll for the next Western RPG review, which we need another 4 views for the Kingdom Hearts 2 review to do a poll for the next JRPG review. But if there's no poll, sorry, if we don't get the views, it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate. Alright guys, peace.